website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. When we play, in this video, I should say, I'm going to teach you how to use multiple arpeggio scales when you play over a chord progression like this. And it's actually not that hard. Because we can use the same shapes we know already, and we can move them around. We can do all kinds of things to make that happen almost instantly if we know just the first position, minor pentatonic. But you could say that the highest level of mastery when it comes to playing over a melodic rock or a pop track, you know, where you have minor major chords following each other and then playing solo, is to be able to follow the chord structures. We got 7 notes in the key of C, for instance, right? Right? And out of those 7 notes, we form 7 different chords: the A major, the D minor, the E minor, the F major, the C major, and so on, right? And then we use all of those chords to create chord progressions. And all of those chords come from the same notes in the same scale, the 7 different notes. And that's what creates a key, right? We're in the key of C major, meaning all the chords, everything you hear comes from that C major scale. And when you then improvise using the major scale, if you can follow the chord progression, so if I'm playing a C major chord, and then I'm playing a G major chord, which is the 5th chord in C major. Those 2 chords come from the same scale. They're all formed by the same 7 notes. If I can follow the chords around using arpeggios, see now a C major 7th arpeggio, and then a G arpeggio, C. What I'm basically doing is playing the notes of the chords in the background within that scale. And that gives me immense power melodically, because that's how melody is formed, from one chord note to another, using the scale tones as passing notes. Right? That's how melody is formed. And so if you can do that live, improvising, you know, scales, shapes, arpeggio shapes, then wow, you can really, you really have some control. But we can shortcut that because we have our pentatonic scale, and the pentatonic scale is basically just an arpeggio. It's 5 notes. It's a 5-note arpeggio. So you can play the A minor. If you're in the key of C, you can play the A minor pentatonic over the A minor chord in the key of C. If a D minor comes around, you can play the D minor chord. Got an E minor, you play the E minor, the D minor pentatonic, E minor pentatonic. All those pentatonic scales, I just mentioned 3 in the key of C, fit within the C major scale. So you're still just playing the C major scale, but you're choosing that structure. So if I have, like, let's say in the key of C again, right? So if I'm playing the C and then the G, I could use those 2 major pentatonic scales, which is to be found within the C major scale, right? C major pentatonic and G major, right? So now I'm not using arpeggios, but I'm actually using something that looks like an arpeggio, because if you look at the pentatonic scale, for instance, an A minor pentatonic, you've got the root note, A, then the 3rd, so it's an A minor. Then we got the 4th, which is also 8, 9, 10, 11, the 11th of the A, so it's A minor 11th. The next one is the 5th, the next note in the pentatonic scale. Then we have the 7th in the pentatonic scale, so it's an A minor 7th with the 11th added. So I might want to, let me see if I can. I could play like an A. It sounds like this. That's the pentatonic scale where all the notes are played at the same time, right? So it's an arpeggio. And I'm just going to show you how you can play any major minor key has 3 major chords and 3 minor chords, and how you can use the pentatonic scale to target those and use either the same first position minor shape you know already to play both minor and major, or stay in one place on the next. So let's look into it close up here. So for this example, I'm in the key of E, and the E minor scale has 3 different minor chords in it. It's got the E minor, first of all, and then the subdominant to E would be the A minor, and the dominant in its minor form would be the B minor, and then back to E minor. And so I can start with the E minor pentatonic. When we go to A, I can play the A minor pentatonic in the 5th fret, and then the B in the 7th, and then E, B, first position all the way. Works fine, right? Back to E. It's also a good way to stay connected to the chords, because you literally move around as the chord changes. But then I can also stay in the same position. I just have to figure out how those scales look in each of the positions I want to be in. So I can go E, that's the E minor pentatonic up here in the 12th if I want to stay there. The A minor is the 4th position shape, like that, okay? And I can just basically move that up 2 frets and play the B minor, right? So let's try and do that. E, now this is the B we have in the background. E minor. B, okay, E, first position. A, B, and then E, and B again. E, and then A. My ear says yes, it works. Right? Right? So those are the options you have, and that's basically because, as we talked about, that these pentatonic scales, if you mix them all together, mark them out on the entire fretboard, all 3 of them, then they will make up the entire E natural minor. So they all fit into E natural minor. We do the same thing if you're playing major chords. Like say the E minor natural minor scale is also the G major scale, same notes, and the 3 major chords of the G major scale, or the E minor scale for that matter, is the G, first of all, then we have the C, and then we got the D, and then the G, and then the D, right? So then we got a nice progression running there, and I can use the G major scale, or G major pentatonic, now the C major pentatonic, and then the D major pentatonic. But those are the same scales I just played before, because it's parallel tonalities. So the G major pentatonic is the same as the E minor. You just have to focus on this note instead of that note. So this is G, C is right there, so that's the same as A minor pentatonic, same scale shapes. And then the D is the same as the B minor pentatonic, which is really cool, so we don't have to learn anything new. So let's play the same scale shapes over these. A minor or C major pentatonic. And then the A minor, C major. B, right? So it works like a charm, and you don't have to learn anything new if you got the 5 pentatonic shapes down. then you can use those to construct your way out of using all the notes of either the E minor, natural minor, or the G major scale. And you will have a framework that allows you to use the notes in a way that doesn't sound weird, which is what often happens if you start using the E minor, right? So I hope that was valuable to you. A lot of people say, well, I kind of sense, Claus, that that's just one piece of the puzzle, right? Because that's all we have time for in these short YouTube videos, that if I want the whole thing, I have to buy a course, which is absolutely true, right? And I really warmly recommend that you do so. But if you can't afford it, if there's no way you can spend, the money on a course because you simply don't have it, then there's another way of dealing with the frustration or the overwhelm that you get from watching 1,000 YouTube videos about scattered pieces of information and soloing and whatever, right? And that is to just shut it out and focus, right? Because let's say you want to become a really good solo player. You got a lick from that guy, you got another thing from going on a concept here and the scale concept. As long as you don't go from one to the other, like this confused, but just focus. Okay, so learn that lick and bring it all the way to mastery. Okay, so learn that scale combination in one position and see if you can shut out all the other positions and all the other ideas about how huge this must be if you really were to attack it full scale. Right? See if you can keep that out and just say soloing, technique. What am I focusing on this month? Okay, I'm learning licks. Okay, what am I focused on the next month? Okay, I'm learning scale concepts. And just focus intensely on it. And I promise you, at some point, you will look up and you'll see connections. Oh, that's what I learned this is not new. I know this already. And then gradually you can see the pieces come together. So, shutting out in this world of total massive amounts of information is such a good skill to have. Really, because that's the only thing that allows you to focus. When I was building my skills initially, I didn't have that much information. I had I was under-informed, so I had to focus because I just had these 3 or 4 things I knew how to practice, right? But you have to emulate the same situation yourself. Okay, so subscribe to this channel if you want more videos like this, and be sure to go download our free courses right below this YouTube video here. And then I hope to see you in the next video we upload. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.